China faces an Omicron tsunami that could overwhelm hospitals and kill more than 1 million people if it abandons its zero-COVID strategy, according to a new study published in Nature Medicine on Tuesday, as officials double down on the controversial policy despite worsening social and economic The researchers modeled several strategies China might use to move away from zero-COVID and learn to live with the virus, including widespread use of recently approved antivirals, enhanced testing, promoting booster doses and increasing vaccine coverage among the elderly. When lifting the restrictions put in place under zero-COVID, no strategy was sufficient on its own to completely mitigate the risk of Omicron, and no method was able to prevent hospitals from being overwhelmed or bring deaths down in line with the number killed by the flu each year. Increasing vaccination among the elderly and widespread use of antivirals should be priorities for future policy, the researchers said. In the long term, policies should focus on improving ventilation, strengthening critical care capacity and developing highly efficacious vaccines, they added. China is one of the few places left in the world still pursuing a zero-COVID or dynamic zero approach to the pandemic. Compatriots like Australia, New Zealand, Singapore and Taiwan have abandoned the policy and acknowledged they cannot completely contain the virus, and the fervent pursuit of the policy was a disaster during an outbreak in Hong Kong. In China, Beijing's stringent adherence has stoked discontent and unrest among the millions locked down to prevent the spread of coronavirus, notably in Shanghai and Beijing. There is little end in sight, and despite food shortages, accusations of inhumane treatment and signs of an economic downturn following weeks of lockdown in major cities, President Xi Jinping states officials will unswervingly adhere to the policy. Once a zero-COVID poster child, Taiwan learns to live with the virus. Guardian: the cost of China's zero-COVID lockdown. Xi Jinping attacks doubters as he doubles down on China's zero-COVID policy. Guardian: full coverage and live updates on the coronavirus.